out there, young ladies and gentlemen, scoundrels and scum, more like it. It's time for another episode of Rebel Nerd Radio. How's it going out there, folks? This is episode number 209. I am one half of your host, Team Steve. With me is JD. How's it going, JD?
I'm here, buddy. I'm here.
Yeah. And tonight we have a special guest joining us. For the first time ever, we have Frosty.
Hello.
For those of you
I'm
who
excited to be here.
I can't believe we have never had you on the show before. Crazy.
For those of you who haven't met Frosty before and you've watched our Twilight of Akanta series, you know who
Then
she
you
is.
know her. Yeah.
You know her.
I'm on that one.
All right. Who do we got in the chat room so far? We got Matthew, who thought he was special. We've got Taco Cat.
Taco!
We've got Smirking Bear.
Bear. Hi, Bear.
We've got Steve Spawn.
Steve.
See ya. We've got Spencer.
Fellow
We've
nerds.
got Ubaldo. Haven't
Hey,
seen you in a
Ubaldo.
while. Good to see you again. We've got Brennan, aka Page
Hey,
Thursday.
Brennan.
And we have Joy. Welcome back to the chat room, man. We got a
Got a full
packed
house
already.
tonight. Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
It's going to get even more packed later.
Mhm.
Cool. So, Frosty, why don't you tell our audience about yourself for those that don't know you?
Well, you put me on the spot here. I should have prepared something. I'm terrible at this kind of thing.
Brian!
Hey, Brian. Hey,
I'm only
just
a slight.
for reference, it's not scripted, and we're terrible at it too. So
I'm only a
just go
slight
with it.
Star Wars nerd. Like, I don't have any kind of collecting addiction at all.
She just threatened to beat me up with a
casual.
lightsaber. She threatened to beat me up with a lightsaber for one of my pieces in my collection. No, she's not a Star Wars fan or anything.
Not at all. I might casually host the Black Squadron podcast every once in a while. We're kind of on a hiatus. One of our guys got married, and it's been like a little bit of a whirlwind. Yeah. That's
Star Wars, bunch of nerds.
Yeah, that's my Star Wars background. But I also like D&D. I whole lot of other nerddoms, but Star Wars might be my main, I guess. Maybe you could say.
She played in our Star Wars RPG, if you didn't already know that.
I let the cat out of the bag, sorry.
It's all right. All righty. So we'll start with you, Frosty. You done anything interesting this week? Seen any cool movies? Watched anything cool on TV? Read anything cool?
I've actually been reading all of the new Star Wars comic books. They've released a couple.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta see it.
I've got to.
She's already. For people who don't know, I've been talking about lately going to Japan and everything. Frosty and I will actually be meeting up in Japan with our significant others and a group of and probably lots of other people that we know, and hopefully meeting new people that we will come to know over the years and things like that. And again, she's already threatened to kick my butt in a lightsaber battle over a Star Wars Darth Maul piece that I own that she really wants.
That sounds like a Patreon exclusive episode.
She thinks she's going to, but unfortunately.
So yeah, Star Wars comics.
Yeah, so they released like a pretty neat like in between the Rise of Skywalker, Kylo Ren like miniseries. I've been reading that one, but I haven't really watched anything else. I've been so busy with Japan prep that that's like my whole life right now.
There's a new Star Wars comic book coming out tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Yep. I
Nice.
have the first one of that as well. The first one's cover is beautiful. I love that front and back cover.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I need to get that like printed, just the cover.
Good stuff. All right. What about you, Betty? You saying anything cool? Done anything interesting this week?
No, I'm kind of in the same boat as Frosty, man. Well, I mean, obviously last Thursday we did our very last, unfortunately, we did our very last episode of Twilight of Vakanta. It came to a abrupt end. And
A
look, see,
very
Frosty,
abrupt end. Yeah.
I'm sad face. This is yeah, sad face, Frosty, sad face. We had a
My
great time
notebook is
playing
still
it.
next to me. It's still here. Like
Mine
I don't want to
too.
let it go.
My notepad where I got down to one soak and I was almost dead. So, yeah.
My notes are all on a Google Drive.
So yeah, I mean, we played our last episode of that. I'm not sure whether we decide to. Yes, yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
I like how he didn't even want to read it because he knows it's true.
We shall see, young lady.
Awesome.
Don't let the gray and the beard fool you, dang it. Anyway, I'm not sure whether we decided to or not. I think all of us who played in the Twilight of Vakanta series are talking about doing a Cyberpunk series, and which I know absolutely zero about. So you people who laughed at my incompetence when it came to Star Wars RPGs, you're really going to have a good time because I intend to pay a lawman in the Cyberpunk universe that I know nothing about.
I'll be a mafia boss lady.
More or less, that's what you're playing, yeah.
But I also know nothing about Cyberpunk, so
I am going to be playing a nut runner.
So it's going to be fun. But no, other than that, really honestly, that's kind of the mode that I've been into. We're prepping for Japan. We did final costume fittings Saturday night and did some more getting stuff together on Sunday, trying to figure out what we want to take, what we want to do, how we want to pack everything. Honestly, oddly enough, my girlfriend is going as General Leia from The Force Awakens. So
nice.
she has the full garb, the jewelry, the hair, the whole thing, which we'll get pictures of and stuff like that. I'm sure we'll all get them together. And I'm doing
Maybe
kind of
we should put those pictures on the Patreon.
an early release kind of thing. Yeah, heck yeah.
Ooh, early release, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing kind of my traditional Jedi robes, but I will doing an Obi-Wan Kenobi style version of it. So that'll be fun. And other than that, man, it's just been, like I said, it's just been prep time. It's been getting everything together, making sure that we've got everything we need, and last minute purchases to make sure we have what we need while we're over there. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Good times.
So yeah. What about you, Steve?
Well, we had our Twilight of Vakanta, concluded that one.
Mm-hmm.
Sad face. It did end abruptly. We'll probably come back and do Star Wars again in the future.
I'm gonna need you to change that to a definitely, okay? Just change that to that. Probably to definitely. Okay.
We'll see. So that was Thursday. Let's see. Saturday I went and saw Minecraft. Okay.
How was that?
Oh, that was fun. It was so dumb, but it was funny. It was hilarious. Anybody in the chat room besides Spencer go see Minecraft? Or was it Spencer that went and saw it? No, I don't remember.
I'm not a huge Minecraft fan, but I'm actually very intrigued by that movie.
Yeah.
It looks very silly.
It was pretty damn funny. Jason Momoa did not play the type of character I thought he would be playing.
That's what I like to see.
It's very, very interesting.
That's good because if he falls into that trap of a guy in Hollywood who plays the same dude in every movie,
you mean The Rock?
Yeah, like The Rock, Rock, Kevin Hart. Yeah, there's a whole Jack Black. There's a whole list of them. So yeah, it's just basically
yeah. And then Sunday, Spencer and I did another episode of the Comic Den. We had some creators on with us because we were discussing a Kickstarter comic book called Super Guy. It's a Kickstarter comic book. And I am going to put a link to that Kickstarter project on here to try to boost some sales for them. It's already funded. It's actually like funded 3 times over. but it's a pretty funny comic book. It's like, what if Superman was just a lazy beer drinking doofus?
So you mean Hancock?
It's great. Even funnier though. Even funnier. Yeah. No. Yeah, no, that was it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been up to.
Nice.
I'm getting geared up to not go to Celebration this year.
I wasn't going to open that wound. I was going to leave it alone because there was all kinds of jokes I was going to come up with. Like, you mean why aren't you were preparing for Japan? See, I was going to leave.
You would have brought it up eventually. Come on.
I mean, I feel bad when we talk about it.
Well,
but,
you should.
I can't.
You should. Okay.
If I could rent out a plane and take everybody there, I mean, I would take a select few friends and take them over there. But I'm sorry, I can't.
You should feel bad. Okay. All right. That was it for that. Did we get anybody else in the chat room? I don't think so.
I
don't think anybody.
Me and Frosty will find something unique that we'll get from over there, and we'll send it to you.
Not good enough.
Not good enough.
Not good enough.
Not good enough.
All right. You know what time it is. It's time for Rebel Nerd News. All right. We got some news. We're going to start off with the sad stuff first.
Uh-oh.
As you all know, or don't know, if you don't know, then I don't know what rock you're living under. Acclaimed actor Val Kilmer has passed away at the age of 65. You might know him as Bruce Wayne / Batman in Batman Forever. Not my favorite Batman, just going to say it. He played Jim Morrison in The Doors. He played my favorite role of his. He played Doc Holliday in Tombstone.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, he was taken from us very early, 65 years old. And that was sad. Yeah, it happened on April 1st. So like it happened late on April 1st. So when the news kept coming out, I was like, yeah, April Fools, I got you. And then it just kept coming out on the next day. So I was like, oh shit, that's me actually.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was a joke too.
I thought it was.
I mean, I seriously thought if people were kidding. I was like, no, that's not something funny to joke about. That's
yeah.
Joke. And then they just posted a post. I was like, oh man, it really did.
And you were echoing again.
You need to recharge.
I am?
Plug yourself in, man.
Oh,
you sound like you're dying.
Echoing?
Not really echoing. You're just you're like cutting in and out.
Oh,
it's weird.
That's weird.
All right. So that's the sad stuff. We got some fun stuff. We got some comic book news. Got some X-Men comic book news. Marvel has announced they are going to be publishing an X-Men Days of Future Past prequel. And I believe that Claremont will be writing it, and the artwork will be done by John Byrne, and it will, of course, take place prior to the events that took place in X-Men Days of Future Past. So those of you that are X-Men fans out there know what I'm talking about when I talk about Days of Future Past. So this is a big event for X-Men fans, and it's going to be called Prelude to Future Past. And it will be released in July of 2025. So there's some comic book news for you. The rest of what I have is actually Star Wars related news. So this will be fun that we have more Star Wars related news than we do non. That's kind of strange. Doesn't usually happen that way. Anyway, next piece of news. Star Wars related news. The original 1977 version of Star Wars, which we affectionately call A New Hope, is going to be screened at a British Film Institute festival. So the original 1977 version.
That's killer.
Yeah. So the celebration or the festival celebrates the media of film, and will use one of a handful of remaining dye transfer IB Technicolor prints made for the December 1977 British release of George Lucas's epic space fantasy that was preserved in their National Film Archive. That will be on June 12th. Yeah.
Now, on that note, do you know how big of a deal it would be if they would just take the originals, remaster them into 4K, and then release them without any of the additional
They'd
footage
make
exactly
so
as they
much
came out?
money.
Yeah, they would.
Oh my God, the market would
Yeah.
explode. People would lose
Oh,
their
yeah.
minds over that.
Yeah.
Like it's
yeah.
not digital release. Like it's only like it's a physical copy only. Like they would make
Mhm.
so much money from that.
Yeah.
No streaming. It's
Yep.
just something you'd have to buy. You buy the original copy, all the original footage, none of it doctored from the 1977, 1980, 1983 versions. Just the original movies remastered into 4K, and boom, here you go. Here's your physical copy
Yep.
of it.
You are right, Joy. I forgot to
That-
mention that film. He was in that. I actually really like that movie.
Oh, and on Val Kilmer too. For those of you who are big '80s movie fans, he was also in a movie called Real
Oh, yeah,
Genius. Which
absolutely.
is an
That movie
excellent
was
as
great.
well. That movie was great. Frosty, did you ever see that movie?
I haven't seen most of the movies you have listed of his.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? Speaking of movies, this is more a 90s movie thing, though. But I forgot to mention at the top of the show, Happy Rex Manning Day.
Oh yeah. Oh God. What was the one that came up the other day? It was some future event that was supposed to happen, and it was this year. What the hell was it? There was one that came up the other day, and it was in a movie, and it said it happened today.
I don't remember.
I can't remember. I don't remember what it was. I can't remember what it was now.
All right, next piece of Star Wars news. The deluxe edition of Revenge of the Sith novel is coming out October 14th. I feel like we've talked about this already. So we know that episode 3 is going to be returning to the theaters on April 25th for the 20th anniversary. Really looking forward to that. But in conjunction with that, Random House Worlds and Lucasfilm will be releasing a new deluxe edition of the novelization of Revenge of the Sith. And oh my gosh, you've got to see this cover. This is fucking awesome. Hold on. No, this, and I'm not even making a joke. This is badass. Come on, pull up, share, bastard. There we go.
Ooh.
Oh, wait a minute. What happened? Okay, there we go.
Oh,
this is how.
Wait, no, just go to the other one. Go to the other one and pan up.
Well, it's too big.
Oh.
I can. Now
Dude,
it won't go away. What the hell? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, what the hell? There we go.
This is how it feels to be Anakin Skywalker forever.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, we have to.
That is beautiful.
We have to.
I need to get that.
We
mercy.
We definitely have to buy that.
When does that come out?
I think I said October. Yeah. October 14th.
That's
October 14th.
That's beautiful.
That is. Awesome. Yeah, that's looking good. Let's see. We've got a couple more things Star Wars related.
Oh, Joy hit it. I knew it was something nerd related. It was First Contact Day.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, First Contact Day.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that movie, Frosty? First Contact?
Star Trek First Contact?
No.
Frosty. Oh, hey. Okay, Steve. She needs homework. We need to make a list and be like,
you have no idea
like,
the list of movies that people are like stunned I haven't seen them. I like slowly have been checking them off, but like it's amazing the amount of movies that I have not seen. Like
I'm pretty convinced when you said earlier that you're like joking about not being a Star Wars person. I think you're strictly a Star Wars person and you watch nothing else.
It's
from what I'm hearing.
It's pretty close. I was not kidding when I said I haven't seen Tombstone. Like I was literally mouthing, I've never seen that. Like,
wow.
Most of the movies that are listed in the chat, I've never seen them. I think the only one, Top Gun, I watched that one maybe 4 years ago. Might have been the first time I watched it.
Wow.
Only because, what, did you see Top Gun 2? Did you watch Top Gun 2?
Is that Maverick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Top
did.
Gun Maverick?
I watched Maverick. I have not seen E.T., Matthew. Okay. No, I have not.
Ugh.
I'm okay with that, Frosty.
That's okay. That's a sore Matthew and Steve conversation.
Yeah, I made a comment that I didn't like the movie. I don't hate it. I'm like, whatever. I don't have to see it again. It's not that great. Way overrated. Okay, next piece of news. Let's move on. Star Wars Outlaws video game is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. It has been revealed that the Star Wars Outlaws video game, which is a great game if you've never played it, and it received multiple BAFTA Game Award nominations, will be among a number of high-profile games that will be arriving on the Nintendo Switch 2 when it releases on June 5th, 2025. It's cool. I'm not going to rebuy it.
Nice.
I mean, Joy. Not really. I like mostly sci-fi, I think, but E.T. was just not my thing. Just didn't care for it. It was fine. I mean, I just didn't hate it. It's just not something I'd bother watching again. All right, last piece of news, still Star Wars related.
Moving on.
Yeah, getting away from the ET talk. Sad thing is he has my address, so he could do that.
I was reading that like,
I think Matthew is way too big a fan of AT. Anyway, so in observance of May the 4th, which is coming up in just a few weeks, Lucasfilm has released a trailer for a brand new animated series coming soon to Disney Plus on May 4th, and the show will be titled Star Wars Tales of the Underworld.
Yeah,
it is set to feature two familiar characters, bounty hunter Cad Bane
and my guy,
and ex-Sith turned bounty hunter Asajj Ventress.
And my favorite bounty hunter and my favorite Sith lady.
Yeah.
Or ex-Sith lady.
There you go. Should we play the trailer?
Otherwise it'll get canceled.
I'm an anti-spoilers person. So I actually have not watched the trailer. But if you wanted to,
live reaction.
I would.
Live reaction.
Live reaction. Okay. Well, I guess we're watching.
Live reaction. I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Now I got to find it again. Okay. Tales
Here
of
you
the
go, Frosty.
Underworld trailer.
We're going to introduce you to all kinds of new weird things. Here you go.
Don't play before I'm ready. Okay. Okay. Let's see how this is going to work out. Let's go there.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. All right. We're ready.
Just do as I say. Never can be too cautious with strangers out here. Then again, you're no stranger, Lady Ventress.
We got a problem here. Just saw him right in.
What's the situation?
Hell yeah.
He was your best friend. Things have changed.
You took everything from me.
Who are you?
I was Count Dooku's lead assassin. I don't want that life anymore.
Bane? No one needs to die.
Get them.
You're gonna pay for what you did. This revenge, I hope it was worth it. It will be.
Awesome. I'm down for it.
All right, Frosty, what do you think?
My guy.
Heck yeah.
Like, I'm ready.
Yep.
I'm so
I'm down.
excited to see more. Like,
Yeah,
and I
I'm
mean,
ready
I
for
Where's
it.
mine at? I got one of those.
sorry.
I got one of those too. Where is it at?
Oh, I'm so ready to see more Cad Bane. Like, we get a lot of Asajj. I feel like we got a lot of her in like Clone Wars and everything. So I'm ready to see more Cad Bane. I'm still excited to see Asajj. I always want more.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Especially this Asajj. Oh, nice. Yes.
Yeah, man. When he popped up in the Mandalorian, I was so
Yes,
excited.
I lost it.
It was so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all the news that I have for this week.
I really wish, because you and I, Steve, we read the book. What was it? Oh, Dark Disciple. You and I read Dark Disciple and reviewed it.
We never did review it, did we?
And reviewed it. Yeah, I thought we did.
Did we review it? Maybe it was a real short
no,
review.
we talked about it. We talked about it when she showed up in
Bad
Bad Batch season 3.
Yeah.
We discussed it. We talked about it, and we basically we kind of was talking about. I mean, personally, I would like to know what the scoop is, because how did she survive? Because I don't think they've told that yet. I don't think they've actually said anything about how she survived what happened to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm kind of interested to see if this will address that, or if this is just a continuation. But I still want to know how she survived. How did she come back?
Yeah. Steve, yeah, this is actually my first time seeing it too. I never got around to watching it.
You people are killing me tonight. Seriously killing me tonight.
I don't watch any I usually do not watch any trailers for Star Wars stuff. So you guys are special in the fact that I watched that with you guys.
Oh, we're special.
We're special. Oh wait.
Alrighty. I would like to take some time out to thank everybody that follows us and engages us on social media. If you aren't following us, you can go to this bio link down here, bio.link/Rebel Nerd Radio. That will take you to, among other things, our Discord. So if once a week is not enough nonsense for you, join us on our Discord, and you get daily nonsense. And that will also take you to all our social media, our Facebook, our Twix, Threads, Blue Sky, all that crap. Take you to our YouTube channel. Fun times. It will also take you to our merchandise page where you can buy t-shirts and coffee mugs and all that cool stuff. And it will also take you to our Patreon. So if you're not already a patron, you're missing out on all the extra nerdy fun. We have exclusive content on our Patreon, which really is just the Twilight of Akanta RPG stuff right now, which is on hold for now. We'll say on hold. We won't say gone. And then we have our early access content.
Look at Frosty's like, it better not be gone. It better not.
I can feel it. And then all the early access content like the Batcave, and when we ever get around to doing another episode of Kryptonian Chronicles, that will be on there. And you also get cool stickers, which, no, I have not mailed them out yet, but I will be mailing them out. So every one of our patrons will be getting the new stickers right here. There's the...
It's upside down.
Yep, that's just like us. We're kind of upside down.
And kind of upside down. Yeah.
And then, in addition to all that, if you are a patron, we like to give a huge thanks to those of you on the show here. So let's give a great big old shout out to Dave Brown, Charlie Kirby, Chantel, Justin Hensley, Matthew Brennan, Steve Spawn, Kelly and Chris Olson, and our newest patron, Taco Cat. Thank you so much for helping us keep the show going. Truly appreciate you. Your support means everything to us. We cannot thank you enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keeping the the streaming people paid is a good thing.
Yep. See, now they've got you threatening me. Yeah.
I like your chat.
All right. Yeah, we like our chat. We like our chat.
Of course you would.
Your chat craves
you would.
blood,
They're
and
on your
I'm
side.
here for it.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Joy says, Asajj reminds me of those ladies in the 80s that lived alone, smoked 3 packs a day, drove a Trans Am, and owned a pair of Dobermans named Thorn. And
It's so good.
that's awesome. Love it. Love it. But you know what time it is now?
Oh, good Lord.
It is time for us to show our thingies. All right. We're going to show our thingies. How many do you have, JD?
I have 2.
Okay. Let me start first.
One of them, Matthew. One of them, I will give a heads up. When I show mine, Matthew, you're probably going to want to turn your head. I'm just saying.
Okay.
So but
That's always fun.
just a fair warning. Just fair warning.
Okay. My first one is Star Wars related. The second one is not, by the way. First one is Star Wars related. I was in Walmart the other day, and this popped up on the clearance shelf, and I was like, yeah, I got to have that.
Mm.
It is a Darth Maul squishy.
Wait, how big is that? Because I have 2. Oh, I don't know if mine is that big. Do I have one up here? Hold on. Now I have to go find mine and see how it compares.
Here we go.
Now we're going to compare our thingies.
Now we're comparing thingies. Who's got the bigger thingy on this
We're
show?
comparing the size of our thingies. My God, I hope mine is bigger. Damn, I hope mine is bigger.
No, I think it's the same size.
We got the same size thingy.
We got the same size thingies.
We have the
That's
same
awesome.
size thingy.
People, we have matching thingies.
We have matching
thingies.
I have 2. JD, I have 2. I can bring you a thingy and we can all have this.
We can all have Darth Maul thingies.
We can all have one of the same thingy. Oh, if we were like triplet thingies, that would be fantastic. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I am here for it.
We're all going to have the same thingies.
We're all going to have the same thingies. We honestly do, though, Frosty. When we get back from Japan, we have to have you on when we do a recap, because we'll have probably plenty of stuff that we can show from Celebration.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can get a bunch of it. I'm hoping I can get a bunch of the things that I want. And I got people in the chat who've already given me a list saying, hey, JD, can you pick this up for me? Hey, JD, can you pick this up for me? So I'm being tasked as we speak to get things for people. And I'm like, dude, you people understand how much FedEx is, right?
Right? Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before
So
you show me your
I'm gonna do my
thingy,
best.
I need to direct the camera toward Princess Leia over there, sleeping on my couch.
Chilling.
Yeah, she's hanging out.
So pretty.
That's Princess.
chilling.
Yep, that's Princess Leia, and I think Earl is in here too. Yep. How's it going, dude? You just
Lady
staring
Death
at-
Whisker, the Siberian warrior, is probably sleeping on my bed.
Yeah. All right.
That's
All
her
right.
name.
All right, JD, show us your.
Frosty, do you have anything you want to show? Do you have anything you'd like to show us?
I didn't pick
or
up
something?
anything.
She just
new.
showed us her thingy.
Yeah. I didn't pick up anything.
Yeah, but it's the same thing that you have.
It's still a
Did you pick up anything
thingy.
new?
I didn't pick up anything new,
Alright.
but I have these next to me. I have Darth Maul's lightsabers next to me.
Very cool.
Oh, hey, over here, I cannot. This is a problem that I have with my collection. Speaking of Darth Maul's lightsaber, this is a problem that I have with my collection. See, oh, those are so pretty. That's so pretty.
They have the little connector,
nice.
so I can connect them.
Heck yeah.
See, I have the original 2005, 2006 signature series from Kenner.
Nice.
The original ones that came out. The problem with them is you can't take the blades out. The blades don't separate. So I've got the whole thing sitting over here, and it's like anchored to one of my display cases. I can't take it apart, and I can't put it anywhere other than where it's at because it's hang on a minute here.
There's my boy.
This is a bonus. This is a bonus thingy.
Bonus thingy.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I can't take the blades out. The blades don't come out. So I mean it's stuck together. But I mean, it comes apart. I can take it apart, but
You don't want to. You don't want to
I
hang
can't.
out. Okay, go ahead.
That's a bummer.
I can't do anything other than that with it. Yeah, it is a bummer.
It's all right, buddy. You don't have to hang out with me. Come on, JD. Show us your thingy.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. I got this. I can't remember where I ordered this from. I think I ordered this directly from the Jazzware Vault. But everybody knows that I've been collecting these Jazzware's Mini Galaxy Squadron, vehicles and whatnot.
Mhm.
So the new one that I got, and I'll open it up, and kind of show it to you. But one of my favorite vehicles in Star Wars is the Jedi Starfighter. Absolutely love the Jedi Starfighter. But in this particular case, and this is a one of only 15,000, so I'm not sure if I'm going to take this out of the box or not. I may actually leave this in the box. It is Darth Vader's Jedi Starfighter Interceptor.
Very nice.
And it's only one of 15,000. It's so I don't know if I want to take it out of the package.
I wouldn't.
I would not.
I
No.
would definitely keep that in there.
Normally I take these out of the because he's actually got there's Vader right there.
Yeah.
Plus his astromech droid, and he's got a place for it in there, in the cockpit and everything, and then you kind of see the back there a little bit. So I think I agree with you guys. I don't think I'm going to take that out of the box. And so there's the first one. So there's that. Okay, now Matthew, don't hate me.
Wait a minute, is this your second one?
Turn your head. This is my
I
second
gotta
one.
show my second one first.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Show your second
Okay,
one.
this is my non-Star Wars related one. And
Oh, okay.
hang on, I haven't even opened the box yet, but I know it's in there. There we go.
Oh, I guess I
Okay.
do kind of have a not Star Wars related second.
Oh, we
exciting
we
thing
talk
for
we
me.
talk.
Wait. You exist outside of Star Wars? What's up with that?
Don't we all?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay,
we definitely
so
do.
this is the Batman Hush
Oh
Omnibus.
man,
Look how thick that sucker is.
that's a
Oh,
thick
my
old thing.
Goodness.
Yeah.
That's a thick
Whoa.
thingy.
Yeah, it's a thick thing. The Hush,
His thingy has girth.
the Hush Saga
Girthy
Omnibus.
thingy you got there.
If you might not be able to see this, maybe. Okay, there we go. If I put it in like that, the plastic's not even on it. I haven't even opened it up.
Dang.
It's like, yeah.
That thing is
It
huge.
Huge.
Dude, you have a huge
That's
thingy. I'm very
that is a
jealous.
huge thingy.
Yeah, Batman Hush.
That is a huge
Yeah,
thing.
if you didn't already know this, Frosty, Hush is like my absolute favorite
fave.
Batman story arc. And may very well be my favorite comic book story. Top 5
Oh,
comic book
okay.
story arc of all time.
All right.
Love that story arc.
My
Matthew
Very
says
nice.
Steve's trying
Very
to
nice.
prolong the pain. Well, I wasn't, but yeah.
my
Short-
second thing isn't super exciting.
Matthew says short and fat. Oh,
Short
my
and
gosh.
You could
Steve
absolutely
could
knock somebody out with
this
that thing. It
Yeah,
is a
absolutely,
weapon.
100%.
It's a weapon.
That is.
I'll take somebody out with my thingy.
I play
Whip it out
Marvel
and knock you over the
Rivals.
head.
I play Marvel Rivals, so they released a graphic comic
Ooh.
box.
That's cool.
You play Marvel Rivals too?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they also released a one shot comic book that has a Jeff the Land Shark spray.
Do I need to start playing Rivals?
So I did pick those up this week.
Very cool. All right, let's
Who's your go-to Who's your go-to Marvel Rivals or character? Frosty.
Either Punisher or Hela.
Punisher.
Venom.
Hell yeah.
I
do
tried Venom. I had such a hard time with him.
I love Venom. Venom is so much fun to play. I love playing Venom.
I'll give it a try.
I bought all
You
the
should.
skins.
It's free.
I bought all the skins. It's fun. It's free. It's chaos. It's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah.
It definitely is a good time. And if you get it, Steve, the three of us need to get together and get our names in there together so we can play some matches together.
Heck yes.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
All right, JD, show us your thingy.
Okay, I had contemplated taking this out of the box as well, but now I just actually, while you guys were sitting here talking, and I just happened to look at the front. This one is a one of only 3,000 that was sent out. So, and this was exclusive to the Jazzwares Vault as well. And let's see here. Hang on a second. I don't think I'm going to be taking this one out of the box either, unfortunately. So, Matthew, brace yourself. It is Kylo Ren's TIE Silencer.
Heck yeah. Han Killer.
Man.
And that's the outer box. That's the outer box, so you can kind of see. But you can see it's inside there.
Cool.
But yeah. So all I have to do is just let me see if I can slip this out of here real easy. Like
He's trying to slip it out.
1 second. I'm trying to slip my thingy out real easy. Like, hold on.
Be
Okay.
careful when slipping your thingy out.
Yeah, check that out.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I can't collect those ships. I can't add another thing to my collecting.
Yeah, see,
habit.
there's the front.
That is pretty nice.
Well, trust me, it's but yeah. So Kylo Ren's TIE Silencer, I really like that ship. I thought it was freaking cool,
Yeah.
and like an advanced form of like a TIE, TIE Interceptor. So I was like, heck yeah, I gotta have one. And yeah, and it's a one of 3,000 that they only made 3,000 of these. So I won't be taking this out of the box. This will be something else that unfortunately I'll have to display in the box. So
Matthew.
yeah. See, I told you he was gonna be upset.
So I shouldn't grab.
Sorry,
I
Matthew.
should not grab my Kylo Ren Disney actual.
By all means, you should.
This one was used by the actual Kylo Ren actor at Disney.
Oh wow.
A friend of mine was friends with the guy, and it's heavy.
Wow.
Oh.
So does that? I mean, you can put the blades in that, and it actually works.
So yes, the problem is that the cap got stuck in this one. So I have to figure out how to get it out, and I do not actually have the crossguard blades. So
No.
Yeah, I
Oh.
have to find those somewhere, but
Cool. It's still pretty
but
cool.
yeah, Kylo Ren, Matthew. Kylo Ren, look at
Yeah.
Matthew, this is your payback for all the ET hate.
All right. We are done showing our thingies. We will show more thingies next week. Well, actually, yeah, next week's gonna be
No, we won't.
gonna be weird. I think we are actually going to have an episode, but JD will not be with me. And we do have a topic in mind. I am about 90% sure who is going to be on with me. But we are going to be talking about episode 3.
Nice.
So.
Nice. Did you see Matt's comment? Why don't you guys just kick my dog?
I would never kick a dog.
Matthew, we really do love you, buddy. We really do appreciate you. It's just that we don't have the disdain for Kylo Ren that you do. We're sorry.
Show us on the ET where Kylo Ren hurt you.
Perfect.
Yes.
That is perfect.
Yes. That's awesome.
That is outstanding.
All right. That brings us to our main topic. Season 1 of Andor. And how in the world are we already at the main topic and we're only 46 minutes into the show?
We didn't have near as much commentary about news this time. Last time we talked a lot about news and we really didn't have a lot of commentary, even though we watched the video and we got a genuine first person, well, two people's reaction to the new.
See, I thought with having a third person, it was gonna take us even longer to get to the main topic. For reference sake, Frosty, it usually takes us an hour to get to our main topic.
I was worried I was talking too much.
We apparently were not talking enough.
Come on, talk more. You're not talking enough.
I even ran off screen. Like, how are we not at an hour?
All right. So as we know, Andor season 2 is coming up on the 22nd. Really excited about that. Awesome Star Wars show. Season 1. We got lots to talk about in regards to season 1. I threw some topic ideas to you folks, and let us begin with, why don't we just start with season 1 in general, just kind of your general thoughts. Let's go with Frosty first.
I'm generally like somebody who prefers to see the Force getting used in a show. And like backstory wasn't always my favorite, but I was very intrigued by this one because it wasn't your standard Star Wars show. So I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this show a lot, actually.
Yeah. So I like the Force, I like the Jedi, I like the Sith. Yes. But that being said, my favorite part of Star Wars is the scum and villainy. So I was really I really liked this show. Rogue One being my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. It hit that Rogue One nerve. So it was pretty amazing. It was great. Loved it. Loved everything about it. Don't have anything bad to say about it. Can't wait for the next one.
Yep.
JD?
My thoughts on it is that most of the stuff, and like even the stuff George Lucas admitted that he made and everything that Disney has done so far, they've tried to make it to bring in, it feels like they've tried to bring the nostalgia back for newer audiences, to bring in newer people, to bring in newer people to the Star Wars universe. And the cool thing about Rogue One is that it not only did it bring in those new people, but it also made it right up to the original classic, which you literally you cut scene to the new one and boom, that's what you get. And then a lot of I even know younger fans who went and said, "Go ahead."
I've got a question about jumping on to what you just said. How many times have you watched?
Okay,
How
go
many
ahead.
times have you watched it that way?
Oh, a lot. Oh, a lot. Normally when we do our beginning of the year Star Wars marathon,
Okay.
which I do every year, just for reference, Frosty. I do that every year. We start at the beginning of the year and we watch Star Wars all the way. And I go, and yes,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any hate from anybody, but now we go from Acolyte all the way up to The Rise of Skywalker.
That's incredible.
Now, the only thing I don't do, the only thing we don't do is we don't watch like the Clone Wars and Rebels. We don't watch the cartoons or Resistance. I usually keep it to the live action.
I can understand
non-cartoon
Resistance,
stuff.
but the Clone Wars and Rebels are great.
Dude, do you realize that if you actually went through and watched from the Acolyte all the way through like Clone Wars, Rebels, even Resistance, and like if you watched all of that, including like the Clone Wars movie, all of that all the way through, it would literally take you from January all the way to December.
I don't see the
almost.
problem there.
At some point, it's not a year watch through; it's a multi-year watch through.
Yeah, it's literally it's just go until you're done, and then when you hit full circle, you start
all
over again. So yeah, you start all over again. So I mean, you have to kind of cut it.
All
you have
right,
to kind of
that's
cut it
fair.
off somewhat.
That's fair. Okay,
Yeah, you have to cut it off. You have to cut it off somewhere.
you can continue
But
with your general thoughts.
So well, going back to your question, when we do Rogue One, now we do, and I try to do Andover, Rogue One, and A New Hope. Now for sure we do Rogue One and A New Hope back to back, because I mean it's almost like you can't do it. You can't watch Rogue One and watch the end and then leave out A New Hope and go, okay, how do I skip and do the hiatus between the two of them? It doesn't happen. So literally we'll start Rogue One early in the evening and then watch A New Hope back to back and go right into the new movies, or go back into the old classics. But no, the awesome thing about Rogue One, the awesome thing about the movie itself was the fact that it went very nostalgic. It got you back to it basically like came full circle for like the newer stuff coming into and going right up, building into the older classic movies. Now the great thing about Andor for me was it didn't play to the child side of things. It played more to the adult audiences. It intrigued adult audiences with a very adult, very mature content.
It felt very grown
but
up.
it was still
yeah.
Star Wars, and we still. Yeah, exactly. Very grown up, very mature, very, very mature subject matters. I mean, subject matters to the point where if you were a kid, you'd be confused and be like, I don't want to watch this because it's really not something that's for a kid. This was literally, oh my God.
That Matthew posted that in the Discord. Han Killer hurt me right here.
And like Steve said earlier, if you're not on the Discord, you need to be on the Discord, because this is the kind of stuff that happens all the time. But yeah, the mature, more adult content that came out for the older Star Wars fans, I think it was specifically targeted towards the older Star Wars fans, because it really got very deep into not only like Cassian's backstory and the things that he did to get into the rebellion, but like Mon Mothma and some of the characters who forged the rebellion and that kind of stuff. So it was a lot more about the politics, a lot more about what was going on behind the scenes, but it also it melded the mature topics, but also a lot of good action and a lot of good action scenes and a lot of stuff about Rogue One that we really liked. But so for me, yeah, it was a great, well-rounded show. I mean, probably one of their, I wouldn't say not my favorite of the Disney Plus shows that they've put out, but definitely.
I will
at the
say
top.
the audacity for them to use bricks in all of the galaxy, unbelievable. Red clay bricks anywhere but on Earth. Can't believe it. Screws? Who are you? Sorry, I pull that every time. Like
that was some of the best parts, though. And the thing that people fail to realize is the brick that he used was her reduced to ashes. He basically picked her up in an urn and threw him and used her to beat the crap out of Imperial people. I don't know. Nobody ever talks about that. Everybody's like, "Oh, bricks and nails." I'm like, dude, do you realize the brick was basically
It's
her
just
urn?
wild what they gotta get mad about. Sorry, that's my. I have to hit that every time I talk about Andor. People so upset about bricks and screws.
Oh, I knew as soon as you started talking about it, I was like, I know what she's talking about. I know what she's bringing up. That was a little jab at the haters kind of thing. I get it.
So let's talk a little bit about the world building.
Bricks.
Not that kind of world building. Not that kind of world building.
Not literally.
Not
Okay,
literal
my
world
bad.
building. Not literally world building. Yeah.
In season 1, we got a lot more planets that we'd never seen before, and we'll jump back on that topic soon. But also, we got a lot more world building as far as the Empire itself.
Yeah, got to see that. That was
so
neat.
yeah. You really got to see kind of the inner workings of the Empire outside of like Darth Vader and the Emperor. You got to see like the regular Joe Imperials.
Yeah.
And got to see a lot more of the ISB, which I thought was cool, and how that works. What do you think of the Empire aspects of this show?
It's interesting because I just finished reading Lost Stars as well.
Oh, that book is amazing.
So like you have to wonder like how some of these people actually came to be in service to the Empire. Did they actually think that the Empire is doing good? And like the people that we see in the show, they truly do believe that the Empire is there doing good.
They're the good guys.
Exactly. But it's like it's so skewed because like the way they're going about it, it's like how do you not see like the way that you're behaving is it actually comes off quite mean and evil. Like you're literally talking about ruining people's lives, but you know, do you Empire forever. Like, but it is pretty cool to like see that building back there.
Yeah. But like we got the inner workings of the Empire pretty much from day or episode 1, because it's like first you see like the first arc, so to speak. You get the like with Aldani, which is another planet, like one of the planets that we never had to see before. You get like that aspect of the Empire with Aldani and the vault and where they keep their money, that sort of thing. And then the next arc you get to see the prison system, and
my favorite arc.
Love that arc.
Yeah.
And then after that, you like throughout it you see like when they focus on Mon Mothma, you see the Imperial Senate aspect of it, and it's just I just like how deep they went into it.
Because you always wonder, like, how did the Senate actually operate?
Yeah.
Under Palpatine's rule, like, how did they allow the galaxy to become this? And then, like, if you read the books and stuff, and I don't know if they'll go more into it in season 2, but like, he eventually just dissolves the Senate. But like, yeah, you just.
Well, they actually talk about it in episode 1. Because they talk about, he says the Emperor has removed any other blocks from his power. He's he's dissolved the Senate.
That's right.
And they'll no longer be a problem. And then he says, how will he keep control without the bureaucracy? And then he says the regional governors will have control of their sectors.
I forgot about that.
But this is like pre all that. So they were still having to deal with like, the remnants of the Republic from before that. So they were still having to answer that. He was still having to convince people that what they were doing was good. So they had to be actually, be decent. Well, decent as they could be, as far as the politicians knew, they had to be good. But when it came to interplanetary war, like you see in Solo, he's like, well, who are we fighting? We're technically the aggressors. Why are we fighting them? We're taking stuff away from them because they won't comply with us. But when it comes to the bureaucrats and all the people on like Coruscant, they didn't know that. They didn't see some of that was going on. It was all done in the shadows. But
Yeah.
people like
Yeah.
Mon Mothma, they knew what was going on. They seen what was going on, and even like Lothan, and then all the people that were involved in the raid on the vault, and then the different thing, and then you see it in the prison where they're not letting people go; they're just putting people right back in the prison, and that kind of thing. Then you start to see the inner workings of how they got away with all of it before the bureaucrats realized what's going on.
Joy.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Joey, I was trying to keep current events out of it. Trying to keep politics and current
We're trying
events.
to escape real life.
We are talking about fictional Star Wars. We're not talking about what's going on right now. We're not talking about any of that. With this, Star Wars is our escape from reality. We need to keep it that way. Come on now. Come on.
Yeah. The Empire is different from reality.
I want you to read this book, The Rise and Fall of the Galactic Empire.
There you go. Speaking of books, you mentioned Lost Stars. JD, we were supposed to read that and do a review on it.
Sounds like I'm going to be doing that on the plane on the way to Japan.
We eventually need to do our Lost Stars review episode.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm going to
watch. We've been planning that for over a year.
Well, and like I said, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do for 13 and a half hours on a plane flight from Toronto to Japan. So, yeah.
Sleep? No.
Yeah, well, probably do that too, but I'm probably going to read a book. I'll be honest with you.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Rise and Fall of the Galactic Empire.
Lost Stars.
So, continuing on world building, let's talk about some of the planets that we got to see that we'd never seen before. I already mentioned Aldhani, but we also had, oh man, what was the name of the planet? Like episode
Ferrex.
1, Morlana 1,
Mm.
which we don't see a whole lot of, but we
don't
see a whole lot of, but yeah, it's a planet we've never seen before. And then you mentioned Ferrex, that was another one. And then the prison planet, Narkina. Of course, that's probably not a planet. That's not really a planet, is it?
I think it is. Narkina 5.
Was it? Okay, maybe it was. But then on top of the new planets that we'd never seen before, they go a lot deeper into Coruscant.
Yeah.
Like, dude's got an antique shop on Coruscant. Okay, that's not something I thought I would see on Coruscant.
It makes sense. I mean, there's also like it's an entire planet that's just a city, so they got to have one of everything.
Got to have an antique shop, yeah, where you can buy Rakatan relics.
The Easter eggs in his shop alone will drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Because every time you watch it, you're like, is that what is that? What is that? Okay, I'm gonna freeze frame. I swear, people like
I've done that. I've done that before. I freeze frame and I'm like, what is that?
What is that? What is that? Well, oh my god, that's what there's that. Yeah, see, I didn't notice like the carbonite freaking whip from Indiana Jones until somebody mentioned it, and I went, so I started freeze framing and I'm going, what else is in there that I missed?
If we look hard enough, I'll bet we can find a Wraith box in that shop.
Dude. Then you can submit your story to Lucasfilm and say, we really need to make this movie, and I've already got 4 actors in mind that can play the characters. See, we could sell it. We could totally sell it.
Oh man. What other planets am I missing? What would we the planet where he is actually from.
Did it begin with a K?
Yeah, it did begin with a K. Now I can't remember the name.
Karga?
Yeah.
Kassa.
Because
Kassa. Kassa.
Okay. Oh, right.
No,
that's his name. His name is Kassa.
Yeah.
Because he turns it into Cassian.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Canary.
Yeah, because they say Canarian a bunch of times because he was a Canarian male. Yeah.
And then another thing that they open up on Coruscant is the apartment buildings,
Oh yeah.
like where
Mm-hmm.
what's his face is living with his mom.
That was
See?
entertaining.
Yeah, it
That
was
that not
With
only
the-
was entertaining. That was
with the
not only
cereal and
entertaining.
the cereal and the blue milk.
That's not only entertaining. I can see why people are going nuts. Because if you had to actually, can you imagine actually having to live like that?
That's fair. Yeah. I gotta
Oh
get
my
away.
God.
I gotta get away
I
from
gotta
my
get out
mom.
of
Imagine
here.
imagine the further down you go if you have more apartments. I mean, because it is a literally a planet made out of it. It's literally the entire planet's
Yeah.
a city, and the deeper you go, there's apartments going all the way down, and like people are living down there.
Mhm.
Can you imagine that? Oh my God,
Ugh.
Yeah.
that would drive anybody insane.
Yeah.
Crazy. Let's see what's next on my list. Okay, so you both have kind of mentioned this already, but do you like the show less because of the lack of Jedi?
No, I love that
Mhm.
it's its own thing, that it really shows that you don't have to be a force user to put on a rebellion, like, or to be part of the rebellion, to have a real effect on change.
I
Yeah.
really think the like Frosty said, the idea that throughout the series it's always been about Force users, it's always been about Jedi, it's always been about wielding a lightsaber, and I think that this shows that you don't have to be somebody who has all these special abilities in order to make a difference. And them going into more detail, not just about the rebellion or the regular people in the Star Wars universe, but going into and showing that like people from the Empire have families and have kids, and they're also quote unquote normal people who are just a part of this, and they're doing something they believe in. They think it's the right thing to be doing, and maybe not necessarily understanding the grand scheme of things because they're not let in on everything that's going on. They're not seeing the big picture, and a lot of that information is being kept from them. So they're as human. And I know I said I didn't want to bring up real world stuff, but it does have real world implications. It does have real world implications. That sometimes you just honestly, it could apply to either side, because even people like Lothan and Cassian said they did things that you wouldn't believe in order to secure victory for the rebellion. And I know we'll probably get to it in part of this discussion, but Lothan's speech that he does
We'll get there.
highlights that. Yeah, even kind of highlights that. And I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure we'll get to that discussion here in a little bit. But even Lothan's speech is that the things he's had to do to secure victory or to secure a place for the rebellion to make sure that we can achieve victory. That all has real world implications, I think.
Yep. Yeah, so I agree. I didn't like it less because of the lack of the Jedi. I guess basically the same reason. It's its own thing, and it's more talking about the regular people, and it kind of, like Rogue One to me, it put the war in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, this is what war looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about. That's next on my list, but I'm going to save that for next. Let's talk about some of our favorite characters from the show. Obviously, Andor is one of them. At least to me, I think Andor is one of my favorite characters. I imagine Luthen is a favorite.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay. What
Luthen.
other favorites do you have? Now, outside of the character Andor himself, JD, you know who my favorite character in the show is.
Yeah.
You got to know. know.
Yeah,
And he only shows up for like maybe 2 episodes, but
yeah.
Can't dismiss him. And Frosty, we're talking about Saw Gerrera.
Okay.
He's like one of my favorite Star Wars characters.
Interesting. Okay.
Love Saw Gerrera. Love Saw Gerrera.
All right.
Ever since I saw him in the Clone Wars. Yeah.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
Love Saw Gerrera. But yeah, we didn't get to see a whole lot of him.
No.
Sounds like season, stepping up a little ahead, but sounds like season 2, or looks like from season 2, from the looks of it, we are going to be seeing a lot more of him, which is great. We'll get to see even more of that.
I would probably agree with you there, Joy. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's why Lothan is probably one of my favorite characters in the entirety of the series, because he's, not only do we really not know much about his backstory yet, but
yeah,
the speech, what he was doing, the fact that he could just change his personality so quick to clone, to kind of cloak himself from the eye of anybody knowing what he's really up to, that ship that he's got, the mysterious, the cane that he carries, everything that he's got going on. He's so connected between Saw Gerrera and Mon Mothma and all the people. He's centralized himself as being, kind of the manipulator and everything that's going on, but we don't know a lot about him. We don't know, how he got into it, where his origins really lie from, and what, is he the middle ground between Mon Mothma and Saw Gerrera, or is he worse than both of them? I mean, it could turn out either way.
is he the one that started the whole thing and he kind of recruited them? Or,
Yeah,
I don't know.
but the way he speaks and the way he talks about things and the way he plans things out, he's almost almost in some ways more maniacal and ready to sacrifice things to get to the goal than what Saw Gerrera was, but he's more ambitious and more ready to take action than what Mon Mothma is. So, I mean, yeah. And so to me, it just, I want this. I'm hoping they do more backstory about him in the next season.
I hope so too.
I'm really hoping we get to hear more about him. But as far as right now, he's one of my favorite characters, just because there's so much mystery, but there's so much about him that's so intriguing.
So what do you what are you guys' thoughts on this guy?
Love him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
He's awesome.
Put Andy Serkis in anything and immediate fave.
So it's very good, Precious. It's very good. This is your good, Precious. It's good, Precious. Come on. Let's not shut up. That's terrible.
He was great as Alfred in the Batman.
Yeah, he did a real good job there too. Yeah.
I mean, pretty much anything he is in, he's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we don't, him too. We don't get a lot of backstory on him either. We don't know where he came from or what, how he ended up where he was at. But at the same time, I don't think you really need to understand that he went from just be compliant and just do what they asked to being, going full bore on being part of the rebellion and that kind of stuff in a matter of seconds when he figures out what's really going on. And then his speech was probably the second favorite, and it ranks right up there.
I think I cried during at his death. I was like, that's not fair.
Yeah, I can't swim.
Did he die? But
right.
Did he die?
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah, we didn't actually see him die. I mean, there's a good chance that he got stuck there and they probably came back to wrangle everybody back in.
Yeah.
But we don't know. That may be one of the cool reveals, is we actually get to see him again.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Now, if we don't ever get to see him again, I'd be disappointed, but I'm not upset, because his story arc in the short time that it was there, it was just
very powerful.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very powerful. Very cool. Very cool story arc.
All right. Everybody's favorite character from Andor.
Oh, God. You mean the guy that's willing to servitude his own daughter? Yeah.
He's kind of a jackass.
Yeah.
And then we have the will they, won't they duo of Cyril and Deidre.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting characters there. You know, we get from what I have seen, we're going to see more of both of them. So that's cool. Mon Mothma, of course, we've mentioned her, but she's, I think, a really important character.
I think she was one of my favorites from the show, just because we've seen her in such huge roles in other series and other movies, but getting like more of her backstory, like learning how she came to be such a huge part of the rebellion is just it's awesome. Getting to really see how these people came to be part of it. So I love that additional world, like character building and
world building, character building, love it.
Her presence in Return of the Jedi was outstanding because you could tell she was a leader, you could tell she was a strong individual, you could tell she had been doing it for a while, you could tell she's kind of been weathering the storm the whole time. And there's a lot you could tell about her just in her mannerisms and what she had been doing and how much things have been sacrificed that she didn't want to sacrifice, like with the Bothans and and everything that they had planned and just look like kind of one of those people, like, a president who's been after, they take a picture of you at the first, like when you first get inaugurated. And then after the 4 years is up and you can see the difference in how much the stress has caused on a person like that. And it's kind of one of those things where you kind of see her when it's coming to a close and she knows it's coming to the end and maybe she finally be able to chill out and rest and everything. And you could tell it took a toll on her. So in '83, when I saw her, I was like, that's a cool character and love to know more about her. And now we're getting to see more of the inner workings and see that she had a family, that she had a daughter, that she's what she was fighting for and why she was fighting for it and how she got involved and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
definitely. Any other characters you can think of I might have missed?
B2 Emo.
Oh, of course.
We love him.
He's a cool little box.
In his doggy bed.
Dang it. I might slip my mind again. Cassian's adopted mom.
Oh, yeah. Starts with an M.
It does.
Name it.
Madra?
You're close. You're very close.
I always get close.
Marva.
Yes, Marva. Gosh, it slipped my mind. I had it a little while ago because I wanted to mention her, and then I forgot. Yeah, her speech after she had passed and she did her eulogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Rick's Road speech. The Rick's Road speech.
Incredible.
Yeah, that was
Tell
awesome.
you, this show is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think like in a movie format that would have worked with all like the speeches and all the talking and everything. But the great thing about Disney Plus is you get it extended out. We got the longer scenes. We got the longer episodes where we could actually hash out a bunch of this stuff. And you got action. You got what you wanted out of like a Star Wars show. But we got these great speeches, and these were done by great actors.
Yeah.
They were done by epic actors who really did a great job. And threw a lot of passion into it, and a lot of articulation into the way they did it, and you could tell they really put a lot of time into making sure that we remembered these speeches.
Yeah,
and whether you don't like the fact that they picked up her brick and started beating people with it, I think it was freaking epic. He's like, you can't fight, but you know what? I'm going to use you and smash this guy's head in with your brick with you. And I'm like, that's great, that's awesome. That was everybody. That's something I think everybody forgot about, and I've mentioned it several times on like X and Twitter and X and Facebook. Is that you realize the brick that he used was actually her? A lot of people don't notice that. They don't think about that, but it was actually her.
I recognize it, but like the last thing that crossed my mind was, oh, it's a brick. Like they would never. What did they use to build in Star Wars? Definitely not bricks. Like who? Like. You really had to come up with something.
Maybe on backwater planets like this, they did.
But you know what? You know what the whole? Do you remember, Steve? Do you remember what the whole thing behind the brick was?
Well, it was kind of like a cremation ritual.
Yeah. So what they did was that once a member of their village died, they cremated him and they put him into the brick in a mortar. And what they would do is they would set him into a special area where they would build upon the foundation of their people, of their of the village, so they
Yeah.
could still be a part of building the village and being a part of the advancement of the village. It was just a death ritual that they did. It wasn't
Yeah.
something like, oh, I can't believe you're building buildings with bricks. It's a fact that they were doing it to make sure that the people that passed or that came before them still got to be a part of advancing their civilization
It
and
was
doing things for them.
it was even a symbolic brick. Like it had a point to it. And
Yeah, and the
people
fact
had
that
to
he
still
took it
figure
and she wanted to fight, but she was too sick to fight. She wanted to fight, and then the guy goes, "You know what? I'm going to make sure that you make a difference. I'm going to make sure that you make an impact, literally, because I'm going to take you and I'm going to beat you over the head of somebody with it." And it was her. It was still her just after she had passed, and it made the fact that she was a part of that village and those people made an even deeper impact, because not only was she not she wasn't part of a building this time, she was actually being part of the fight. He was using her to take the fight to the Empire.
Yeah.
The symbolism in it, and I think that's what everybody freaking missed about that part. You can argue with nails all day long, fine, whatever. But the brick thing was more than just bashing somebody over the head with a brick in Star Wars. It had meaning to it. And I think that's what a lot of people miss.
Yeah. So I want to touch on something that you kind of alluded to, JD. I was going to save this for later, but I think it might be appropriate based on part of your conversation. What are your thoughts on the pacing of the show? Because there was a lot of crap talk over the pacing. People thought it was too slow.
Go ahead,
Science fictionaries in the house. Hey, you haven't been in here in a while. Good to see you guys.
Hey, good to see you.
I think it had ebbs and flows, but I feel like that's how a lot of shows are. If it's not like a new story happening every single episode, it's going to have ebbs and flows.
Mhm.
So, while I felt like some episodes were slower than others, I thought the pacing was fine.
Yeah, I thought the pacing was fine. I don't think anything about it was slow. I felt like it was very deliberate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's a good word, I feel. Deliberate.
it was just a solid show. It's fucking amazing.
Well, and you got, I mean, there were some cases like when they were planning the whole heist and everything, you felt like it was a little slow. You didn't realize what was going on, but that was because they were trying to settle in some information that they wanted to give you. And so when you had those moments where you had just kind of a lull, when it was, just a low point, you were kind of like, this might be, but then they brought you right back up to a high point with the heist and the eye and everything that was going on there. And then you kind of got low when they got done, because, and then like everything that happened after the heist and, them separating and him shooting the one guy because he was going to try to betray the crew and blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
All that stuff that went on. I mean, that was like, holy crap, that was completely unexpected. And everything that went on was just like, wow, okay, this is crazy, And then it kind of went down to a low until he went to the prison. And then we get to that amazing event where they all break out and that whole battle and the speech and then the cliffhanger of I can't swim and the shock of the whole thing. And so for me, the pacing was good because you got, like I said, you kind of get that roller coaster, but it's that one where they keep you vested. You're waiting for that next thing to happen to see how that's going to impact the story. And I thought it was great.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. Okay. What about favorite episodes? Are there any specific episodes that you really liked about this season? And it doesn't have to be specific scenes, just like specific episodes that were your favorites.
I don't know that I necessarily had favorite episodes. I had favorite scenes from episodes.
Okay.
Like there's only like there are standout scenes to me.
Yeah.
They're like those are what I remember.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned them, the eye, the prison breakout, like those are standout scenes to me.
Yeah.
But like maybe overall the episode isn't like.
Yeah, if I had to pick, I've got two favorite episodes, and one is the eye, which is for those that don't know, and if you don't know, why are you watching us? Did we see a kitty again? Somebody said kitty.
Yes, mine.
Yeah.
Mine's in my lap.
Oh, okay. Leia moved. Hi, Leia. Leia moved down from the top to the bottom of this couch. So yeah. The Eye is the final episode of the Aldani arc, and then the other favorite is One Way Out, which is not only the prison escape episode, but also the monologue episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you, JD? Any standout episodes?
No, like I said, I kind of agree with Frosty. More or less, there were scenes that stood out more than anything. Not one episode that was completely like the whole episode was crazy, but there were just scenes that happened throughout that were just awesome, to me. So um, yeah, I think if I had to pick one, and I can't remember which episode it was the funeral scene for
Okay.
Marva. I think that one was pretty cool because the weird thing is that you got what's his name, the guy that he was living with his mom,
Cyril.
Cyril.
Yeah,
The fact that he shows
just
up,
think when you forget that guy's name, just think cereal.
yeah, because he was eating cereal. But that was with him, it was so weird because he was like an outlier. I mean, I kind of understood how he triggered the whole thing with with the planet and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and with the Empire showing up. I got that, but then they continued his story, and I didn't quite understand where they were going with that. It didn't make any sense. And then it got even weirder because he was like creeping on the Imperial gal. And I was like, okay, this is really getting odd. This is kind of a standout part that I'm going, okay, you want to talk about weird. This is just what's going on with this dude. I mean, he lives with his mom. He's kind of being creepy. Now he's creeping on this Imperial gal. I'm like, what the hell? And then the battle happens. He rescues her.
Living in her basement, playing video games.
And then they have that creepy moment between the two. That moment was just weird to me. And I was like, okay, I don't quite understand what's going on. This is kind of odd. She hated him. He was creeping on her. Now she's like... I don't know what the emotions were going on there. So I was kind of like the whole time I was like, what's going on with these two? Where does this end? And then it ends with them in a closet and having some weird connection. So I'm going to be kind of interested to see how that carries on in the next season. So that was, but no, the funeral scene, even though I liked Lothan's speech, I liked the prison breakout. Those were all great scenes. Those were all great episodes. The funeral one was pretty darn good. I really liked that one.
Yeah, good choices. Good choices.
Mm-hmm.
What do you sacrifice? Calm, kindness, kinship, love. I've given up all chance at inner peace. I've made up my mind, a sunless place. I share my dreams with ghosts. I wake up every day to an equation I wrote 15 years ago from which there's only one conclusion. I'm damned for what I do. My anger, my ego, my unwillingness to yield, my eagerness to fight. They've set me on a path from which there's no escape. I yearn to be a savior against injustice without contemplating the cost. And by the time I looked down, there was no longer any ground beneath my feet. What is my sacrifice? I'm condemned to use the tools of my enemy to defeat them. I burn my decency for someone else's future. I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see. And the ego that started this fight will never have a mirror or an audience or the light of gratitude. So what do I sacrifice? Everything.
See, you need to just he's freaking yell it at the end. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
He's sitting there saying all these things, and you can tell he's thought it out. You can tell that he's
Yeah.
accepted his fate. He's accepted everything that he's doing because he knows that what he's doing will eventually lead to his demise, to his death, potentially. And then he gets to the end and he says, "What do I sacrifice?" And then he literally screams everything.
Everything.
I mean, it's just like the cherry on top. It's
Yeah.
so awesome.
Love that speech. Now,
Yeah.
there's a certain line in there that just kind of hits me in now I gotta find it again. God dang it. It's the one where he talks about the sun. I burn my life to make a sunrise I know I'll never see.
Yeah.
And it just makes me think of that final scene at the end of Rogue One.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're all being destroyed by the Death Star, and you see the sunset. It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. They got to see it, and that
Mhm.
was the start of the rebellion. I mean, that was not really the start of the rebellion. The rebellion started before that, but that was like what started
The ball.
the ball. Yeah, what got
Yeah.
the ball rolling. You know, they stole the plans, and now they're going to go destroy the Death Star and start this whole galactic war.
I think I
Yeah.
like Brennan said something in the comments earlier I wanted to bring up. It says, because Lilton seems to have such a death wish, wouldn't it be interesting if he doesn't die and he has to spend the rest of his life reckoning with what he's done? Yeah,
Oh,
kind
here
of
it
like
is.
he
Here it
never
is. I found it. I think I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that would suck for him because then basically, I mean, he's expecting that he's going to die. He's actually counting on the fact that he's going to die. But if he has to live with everything that he's done, including using the tools of the rebellion, then that means he will constantly forever have to live with the fact that he might have had to done dishonorable things to make it, which is something Cassian even mentions.
But
He mentions it in Rogue One.
What's really great about that speech is that his sacrifice, he did not die if he's going to die. I don't know. We don't know. Everything he did was not in vain. If he doesn't get to see that endpoint, at least we know that everything he did was not for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So his sacrifice was, like I said, not in vain.
Mm-hmm. But he'll never know. But I think that's the point of his speech, though, is that he'll never know that.
Yeah. No, he'll never know.
Because he'll eventually, everything that he's doing will lead to people rising under a free sunset and being free again. But he'll never get to see that, and he's pretty much accepted that. That's why he's willing to do whatever it takes, including sacrificing some of his own men and some of his own lives, and sacrificing some of the people that he's working with, their lives, which he does in the show. You don't see it, but he actually gives up people that are actually part of the rebellion. He gives them up for a greater to accomplish a greater end, if you will. He's basically sacrificing his own people.
It's insinuated on more than one occasion that he's just up, they're dead. He's let people die.
Matthew, I have seen people like that. I just roll my eyes because why bother watching Rogue One? Because you know how it ends.
Right, yeah.
Like, I remember the first time my youngest saw the movie, and they were like, there's no point to this movie. They all die. Like, why would you watch a movie where you know everybody's going to die? And then, hold on, it gets better. There's a good end to the story.
I have a rebuttal to that statement. So go ahead.
When we were living in Michigan, in preparation for Andor, Lucasfilm re-released Rogue One in IMAX. And it only played for 3 days. And I went and watched it all 3 days.
Dang.
But I took my youngest on the first day because they're like, all right, I'll watch it again. They just wanted to get out of the house. They didn't really want to watch it. But that second viewing of actually sitting down and watching that movie again completely changed their theory on this
All
movie. They're like, this
right.
movie is so great. It's like, that's what I've been telling you. But yeah, let's hear your rebuttal. Hey, Tina.
Hey, Tina's here.
Man, that is a late night for work.
Okay, so Matthew, when people say these things, this is what you can say in rebuttal. Did people say the same thing? Did people say the same thing when parts 1, 2, and 3, when episode 1, 2, and 3 came out? Well, we know. I wonder how the cruise name Titanic is going to go. Yeah, exactly. Did they say the same thing when episodes 1, 2, and 3 came out? Well, we know he becomes Darth Vader, so what's the point in watching it? That's you're missing.
Exactly.
You're missing the story. You're missing the story side of it. How did it all transpire? How did it come about? And that's the point of the whole thing. Is that how we like these characters. We like Cassian. We like K2SO. We like Mon Mothma. We like
Saw
Lothar.
Gerrera.
We like Saw Gerrera. We like all these characters. We want to see more of their story. We want to see more about it. Even though we know how it ends, still want to know how they got there. And I'm not going to not watch episode 1, 2, and 3. Or I didn't go back to the theaters and say, well, it's pointless to watch 1, 2, and 3 because we know how it ends. That's not the point. The point is seeing how we got there. And I've always said that to me, the original trilogy was setting the stage. But the first one was going back and telling the story before, it was like telling it was telling the everything up to that point, how we got to the original. And then, like, the sequels were how we regard the legends of them. So just because we know how it ends doesn't mean we can't go back and tell the story and see how that all played out and how we got to that point. Because, like I said, we don't know anything about Lothan. We don't know anything about who he is or what he is or how he got there. We don't know how Cassian, when he said the things that he said about the rebellion. We don't know what he's done. We don't know how he's done it, and we're going to find out. We're going to hear those stories. If they'd have gone to episode 6, if they'd have gone to episode 4, 5, and 6, and they said, he was a master pilot in the Clone Wars and blah blah blah, but I don't care about the Clone Wars because I don't want to hear about those stories. No, I want to hear about the stories. I want to hear about it happen. I want to hear how that happened.
When you read a book, do you start at the end?
Yeah, do you read the last page?
Is that not how everybody else reads a book? Have I been doing it wrong this whole time?
Damn it, Frosty.
Exactly, Steve. Like Steve, yeah. Sometimes you just have to enjoy the journey.
Thank you. 100%, Steve. 100%.
That is true, Matthew, and those people can bite me. As we have said on the show multiple times, this is not one of those negative podcasts.
Yeah. If you're a new person here and you're just watching in the background, you're lurking and you're looking for negativity on Star Wars or politics and hatred, you're not going to get it here.
Yeah, ain't gonna happen.
You're not going to get it here.
If there's something about Star Wars that we don't like, we will say, I don't like it because we will not hate on it because somebody else out there likes it. And the thing is, we can see the good in everything about Star Wars, even though it's not like our favorite thing about Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, like the animated show Resistance, not my favorite.
Still haven't finished.
Probably my least favorite.
I'm trying so hard.
Still some good stuff about it. It's still interesting. It's still Star Wars.
I'm like you, Frosty. I probably will never make it through that show.
I've only watched it once.
I feel like
Come on, really?
Which book am I reading?
There are same folks that show off their hand killer toys.
Is there a comic happening right now that has Jaeger in it? Because I feel like I'm reading something that has Jaeger in it, and the only reason I was like, it's Jaeger, I was like, oh, he's in Resistance.
Oh, okay.
But I can't remember which book it is. Because now I'm reading so many of them.
Well, it would probably be. Is it a comic book or a book?
Yeah, comic.
Well, it might be the. Now I can't remember the name of it.
I know. I'm like, well, I can't. My 2 boxes of Star Wars comics. Just let me.
Take Math Roving
Yes,
Kylo Ren.
I literally just finished reading
Kylo.
Yeah, I literally just finished that comic. Just finished reading that comic.
It's all good fun. We're all jabbing and poking at each other. It's all good fun. We don't.
See,
we're not here to spread hate.
I caught some comments earlier because off Star Wars for a second, but I love the Assassin's Creed series. Absolutely love it. Now, there's been Assassin's Creed that I've tried to play and I couldn't play through them. I've tried, but like Odyssey, and I played through most of Valhalla, but it just was repetitive and it really wasn't for me. And I posted in one of the groups in my Facebook page, and it was like, this person posted on there, says, I don't understand why people, when I say something about I like Valhalla, people get all hatred and this, that, and the other thing because they didn't like Valhalla. And I said, just because somebody else hates it doesn't mean you have to like it, and vice versa. Just because somebody likes it doesn't mean you have to hate it. We all like different things. We all have different styles. We all have different things that we enjoy.
My favorite Assassin's Creed game is nobody else's favorite Assassin's Creed game.
Which one?
The first one.
Oh, yeah.
I just like the world.
I've only played Valhalla and I didn't even finish that one.
You have to play. Both of you have to play Black Flag.
That's the one that I keep hearing about.
Give Kylo a chance.
I'm sorry, I don't care. The Assassin's Creed, this will be the last comment I make about Assassin's Creed. I will argue and stand on this pedestal for the rest of my life. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is the best of the series.
If it hits Game Pass, I'll play it.
Right,
Hands down.
If it hits Game Pass, then I'll play it.
Okay, I'm done. No more Assassin's Creed. But just because, and like I said, when it comes to Star Wars hating and that kind of stuff, number one, we're not going to discuss that kind of stuff on this show. We're not going to be we're not going to get into the hatred side of it. We're not going to get into the politics behind the scenes and all that kind of crap. We may comment about the actors. We may say a few nice things about them, but we're not going to get into the bad things. And just so people are aware, my dog is going crazy for some reason. Just so people are aware, we had a discussion a while ago about Kathleen Kennedy and the day that she happens to retire. If she does, we will probably have a show where we'll celebrate her career. If you're a Kathleen Kennedy hater, don't come to that show. You don't have to be here for it, and we're not going to listen to any negativity. We're going to celebrate her life and her career when she decides to retire, and that's just the way it is. And
we're not going to sacrifice. We're not going to sacrifice our positivity just to get more subscribers.
Right.
That's what I like about you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's what Black Squadron's about too. We don't want the hate.
We don't want the hate. We just want to have fun talking about nerd stuff.
Yeah. It's this giant world that we all love.
Yeah.
Why spend that energy on hate?
Yeah. Exactly.
I like the restaurant analogy. Star Wars is a restaurant. There's plenty of things on the menu. You can order whatever you want. Some people like certain things on the menu. Some people like other things on the menu. Some people like everything on the menu. But you don't have to pick. If there's something you don't like on the menu, you don't have to eat it. And you don't have to watch it. If you don't want to see it, if you don't like it, if you didn't like Acolyte, if you didn't like this, you didn't like that, that's fine. You don't have to order it. But you don't have to go to somebody else's table and say, I can't believe you ordered that. That's disgusting. Because they may like it. They may enjoy it.
Good analogy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's not necessary for you to stand up in the middle of the restaurant and say, all you people are fucking stupid because you like everything.
Okay, Matthew, name one movie that I have bashed. I have not. JD, have I bashed any movies? If I have, tell me.
Well, no. Okay, Matthew, he did not bash E.T. He just said it wasn't for him. That's all he said.
Not my thing.
He just said it's not his thing. He didn't bash it. He just said it wasn't for him.
And then I have also said, when you said that I don't like any 80s movies, I started I've got a list of all the 80s movies that I love. So, yeah. Okay, back to Andor. Okay, so then what I did want to talk about is yes, like a Las Vegas buffet.
Yes.
What are you hoping to see from? Okay, that's different, Tina.
Uh-oh.
Those movies were absolute shit. Yes.
But we're just not gonna
Okay,
talk about
there.
them. We're just not gonna talk about them.
Yeah, I just don't talk. Yeah, I just
We
don't
feel
talk
the
about
same way.
it.
We feel the same
that's
way
all-
about Twilight. But you know what? I'm not going to go on a Facebook group about Twilight and tell everybody how I hate sparkling vampires. I'm just not going to talk about it.
So, somebody said that we need to do a Twilight series.
Hell no. Sorry, no, that was hateful. No, I respectfully disagree.
Anyway, okay. Back to Andor. What do you hope to see in the
I
second
think the
season?
clear answer is K2SO.
Amen. Amen. Put it on a t-shirt. If there is no K2SO in season 2, we riot. We riot. No, well,
okay. Yeah, K2SO. We already know we're going to see more Saw Gerrera. As much as I don't think it would make any sense to put this character in the season, I still think it would be cool to see Jyn Erso.
it'd be cool, but I don't
think we're
gonna
gonna get it.
that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to
I don't think we're
happen.
gonna get that.
But
I wonder if we'll get
That thought just went right out. Boom. This is
That's
why I
great.
wear a hat, because that way it catches things.
keeps it in. Keeps it in.
Keeps it in. Yeah,
I
keeps
need
it
to take
contained.
I need to take a note.
Now I think if I'm not mistaken, Alan Tudyk is already, and they've already said that K2SO will probably be in season.
I think that
I'm
was
pretty sure that.
confirmed.
Yeah. Don't forget Madam Web. Oh God.
I try to forget
I never
Madam
watched
Web.
it.
Neither did I. After
Don't
all the bad
bother.
things I heard, I was like, nah, I'm okay. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
good.
bother.
But hey, if you liked it, if you liked
yeah.
it, if it's for you, that's fine. Whatever.
Exactly, Joy. Exactly.
Again, and saw
That would
scene
be
would blow my
incredible.
mind. Yeah.
Like, even if it's like a flashback. Like it's a flashback from like the Rebel Rising
Mhm.
days.
Yeah.
Another awesome book if you haven't read that.
I don't need more homework on the plane, Steve. I don't. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks, buddy.
Have you read that book,
Mm-mm.
Frosty?
No.
Rebel Rising. It's a really short
I
read.
have it.
It's quick. It's a quick read. It's
I have it. I have it. I
Love that book.
downloaded it, but I stopped reading it when I started reading the
Dark Disciple.
yeah.
Is it Legends or canon?
That's canon.
I don't know if I have that one.
I know I have it. I'm not sure where it's at. Hang on. Let me see if I can.
I
get
got
it.
I got a bunch of books from a friend of mine. I have like a bunch of Rebel books, but
It's this one here. Why do I have a?
Everybody's off screen, so you people have to look at me. Yeah, that one. I have that one here.
There's a different cover too. They do have a different
I
cover.
don't have that one. Yeah, no, I don't have that one.
I have it.
Not even close, Taco Cat. Favorite what? Favorite awful movie?
Yeah, I have it somewhere. I can't remember where I have it, but I have it somewhere.
Yeah, it's really good. I really like it. It's basically the story of it picks up where Saw finds Jyn on the planet they were on at the beginning of Rogue One. Picks her up and then tells the story up to the point where she's in that prison transport.
I'll have to get that one.
Yeah. It's really good. I love it. Okay, but yeah, more stuff that you want to see from episode or season.
Lothan's backstory.
Oh hell yeah.
Lothan's backstory.
I want to see Perrin's backstory. No, I don't. I don't want to see Perrin's backstory.
I am kind of from seeing the
Um,
trailer though. Like what I expect to see is that whatever that ship, that new TIE fighter was, it looked like a TIE silencer, but it also looked like it might be some kind of variant of it, or like a variant of the Interceptor. So I'm kind of curious to see what that's about. That'll be kind of interesting.
yeah,
Remember how I said
that
I
would
don't
be.
watch trailers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
Oh God.
I don't do spoilers. Spoilers are like my biggest pet peeve.
Technically,
That's fair.
trailers aren't spoilers though. It's like just a
They do
tease of
too
what's
much. They
coming.
do
It's
too much, JD. Too much.
No, I get it.
But when you
I get
watched the
it.
Mandalorian teaser, you didn't see Baby Grogu, so it was a surprise.
I don't think I watched any of those trailers.
Ugh. I don't think you watch anything.
I watch everything Star Wars minus the trailers. Unless it depends. It depends.
Yeah. So now we broke your rules by making you watch Tales of the Underworld.
We destroyed
Destroyed
her.
it. She's ruined for life.
She is ruined for life. I can't believe
It's
we
all
did
because
that.
of us.
You
It's all our
ruined it.
fault.
Yeah. No, I'm sure we'll get a lot of Mon Mothma's backstory too, or not backstory, but her, how she actually got caught and how she had to separate herself from being in the shadows and coming out full on being the leader of the rebellion.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
really honestly, we were talking earlier about how literally her husband's trying to pawn off her daughter in order to do something, in order to get what
Yeah,
she
what a
needs,
jackass.
and that kind of thing. And she's trying to keep from telling her husband what the real reasons for it is and all that kind of stuff. But I hope I don't know how that's going to work out. So I'm kind of interested to see how that works out, because I hope it really, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen. I don't want to see that happen. I hope that this is the moment that she decides that it's either I just tell people what I got going on, or I lose my daughter and my family and blah, 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 blah. So it's just, yeah.
Chat's coming for me now. And Joy actually, I have seen the Ewok movies, but then Matthew got me. I have actually not seen the Christmas special.
Huh.
I keep meaning to, and like every year the Black Squadron's like, we're gonna do it, it's this year, we're gonna watch it, and then it doesn't happen.
Don't care. I don't care how much you've heard about it and how bad people tell you it is. You cannot be a Star Wars fan and understand the references unless you watch the Christmas special. Damn it.
What's funny is I do understand a lot of the references just because people have explained them to me, even though I've never seen it.
But when you watch it, then it all comes together.
I know, but like I said, we always talk about doing it.
Unfortunately, you will be subjugated to like the early 1980s screen terribleness and cartoonism that is the Christmas special. That's like trying to convince people now, like if you have somebody who says, what's the Goonies? They've never seen it before. You say, you got to watch the Goonies. And they watch it and they go, when was this movie made? It's terrible CGI. I'm like, yeah, this movie was made before that.
I saw that for the first time.
There was no such
There
thing
was
as
no
CGI,
CGI.
then.
I saw the Goonies for the first time only a handful of years ago.
Okay, I'm sorry, but you have redeemed yourself, because now that you've seen the Goonies, if you see any movies, you have to watch the Goonies.
I was
see Back to the
actually
Future.
I did. I've seen that was one of the ones when people found out that I hadn't seen a lot of movies. That was one of the first ones that we checked off the list.
Steve, we can get her on a lot more and give her homework every episode, but you have officially redeemed yourself. Thank you, God Almighty. Woo! Oh, that was touching go for a minute. I'm not gonna lie, because if you just said no, I'd have been like,
just
what?
See myself
how do we
out.
How do we let people like this on our show?
Do you even vet our guests anymore?
I do not. I don't vet anybody. I'm just surprised when people want to be on the show.
Hey, we're going to be on the show. We're going to talk about this thing. Well, I've never seen it. Come on anyway. It'll be all right.
You like Star Wars?
Yeah,
No,
yeah, come
that's
on,
okay.
come on. It'll be all right.
Do you have a vague knowledge of it? I mean, I know who Darth Vader is. Perfect.
Perfect. Come on. Get over here. Sit
That
your
works
butt in
for
the
me.
chair and
Yeah.
hang on. Here we go.
Squirrel.
Oh, boy.
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
I'm gonna pick the tail. I'm gonna pick the squirrel up by the tail and
Oh,
beat you with it.
we've gone the entire episode. We've gone the entire episode without talking about our favorite little buddy,
Nut
Nut.
Well, we've had nut moments. We just haven't talked about nut.
We always have Nut moments. All right. Any final thoughts that you would like to share about Andor season 1 or Andor season 2? You can talk about that. Share final thoughts about that too.
Frosty.
It was beautiful Star Wars. It was beautifully not Force Star Wars. And I'm super excited to get another season of it. That's all.
I think honestly it perfectly opened the door for, like you said, new content that doesn't involve the Force, that doesn't involve the mystical aspect of Star Wars, but actually involves the people, that involves more of the background, that will allow them to tell more stories outside of just the Jedi and the Sith. Because as much as the three of us, I know the three of us love the Jedi. Obviously, you guys love the Sith. I mean, the Jedi and the Sith. We love the duality between the two of them. We love the mystery behind it. We love the mystic and the fantasy aspect of that. But it also,
but mostly the Sith.
yeah, whatever, losers.
No,
mostly
definitely
the Sith.
Jedi. Definitely Jedi. What do you mean?
Yeah, see, thank you.
I don't
I'm
buy
not
it.
buying it either. It's Sith deception.
I've played Star Wars RPG with you for the last several months.
Yeah, Darth Eerie. She dices Mandalorians. Yeah, don't let her roll the dice because.
Hey, spoilers, man.
Hey! You got to watch it to understand what I'm talking about. So it's not necessarily a spoiler; it's a snippet. No, but I like the fact that they're opening up into more territory, which is going to open up again into more stories. Like I'm actually excited about the Tales of the Underworld. I think this is going to kind of highlight two characters that are really awesome characters, and they're going to tell more about them, and more of Andor is going to go into that, and we're going to get to see people that make a difference, but that don't necessarily have anything to do with that don't necessarily.
Man, I think you're going to be waiting a long time.
Yeah, I think you're really a long time for the Basil Chronicles.
I just missed season 2.
So do we. Really, honestly, we do. Did you? Okay, so okay, we'll go into that. Go into that later. But anyway, yeah, I'm excited to see what this season brings. The last season was so good. I think the anticipation is good for it. I think a lot of people are excited about it. I just hope that I'm not necessarily worried about it living up to the hype. I just think it's more of I want it to be successful. I want it to do well, and so I have high hopes. I have very high hopes for it, and I'm sure it's going to deliver, and I really hope for other people that delivers as well, so they can, we can kind of, I don't know, get away from this divisiveness that we've got going on. So yeah, that's my thought. Steve, how about you?
No divisiveness in Star Wars?
Yeah, what the hell?
Divisiveness? There's no divisiveness in Star Wars. Everybody's on the same page.
Okay, after the conversation I had with the Assassin's Creed people, the chats I see sometimes in the Harry Potter groups, especially with some of the casting choices that they're doing right now, some of the controversy that's going on there, some of the Star Trek stuff.
It's everywhere.
I'm convinced it's everywhere. It's not just Star Wars. It's freaking everywhere.
That's why I stay off the internet.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, hate and divisiveness has just it's everywhere, and what it has done is it's taken a new turn into being a money-making thing, and that's why people are so into the hate side of stuff, is because it actually makes them money, because people for some reason are attracted to the hatred, and it's so much easier to hate things.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
will
everywhere.
not. I don't follow fandom social medias because of it. It's everywhere. So
No, I've deleted.
Yeah.
I deleted a bunch when the Acolyte came out, and I deleted a bunch when they
Mhm.
started posting strictly political stuff having to do with real world
Yeah.
politics as opposed to Star Wars. I've deleted a bunch of them because I'm just, you know what? I said I'm tired of it, and I even made comments in those groups. I said, people, this is a Star Wars group. Can we please get away from the real world politics? Let's enjoy the
Come
fantasy
here
world that
to
we
escape.
love. We come, yeah, exactly. We come here to escape. I don't see that there's a reason that we need to talk about these things. And everybody's like, well, this, and this. I'm like, okay, fine, I'm out. And I just left. I'm like, I don't want to hear about it. So yeah, I'm like you. I try to stick to the more like favorable ones that I know are good, or I just stick to the strictly the Star Wars official page itself. So that way I get all my information there because I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired of it. Yeah.
That's right. All right. I would like to wrap things up with a meme that my daughter just sent me.
Oh boy, here we go.
Perfect.
Because she it's a text meme, it's not a picture, but I'm going to read
Okay.
it for you. So she sent this to a group chat, a family group chat, and she said, "This is Dad," because she knows my thoughts about this particular topic. The topic is soup. This is the meme. Soup is actually the most pointless food on earth.
God.
It's literally just hot water. Unless they're sick, why would anyone go out of their way to eat soup when they can eat anything else? You have to actually have the stomach of a mosquito to be full after eating boiled water. I would have to eat 160 pounds of soup in order to even begin to feel at least the slightest bit full. Soup has vegetables and meat. Why would I choose to eat my soggy vegetables and meat in hot water when I could have just ate them on my own? Not to mention, you have to sit there and blow on your scorching hot spoon at 2-minute intervals between each scoop, making it take you 30 minutes to eat such a pitiful excuse of a dish just to still be hungry at the end. You might as well go outside and do photosynthesis, absorbing sunlight as your main source of nutrition at this rate.
That's why we invented chili. I'm just saying.
Yeah, not really a huge fan of soup myself. It's like this just sums it up for me. And she was spot on. She's like, "Yep, this is Dad." I'm like, "Yep."
And see,
Soup is pointless.
I can make an entire meal out of chicken noodle soup and over mashed potatoes with a couple rolls.
Yeah, but you're putting something else
Yeah.
in the soup.
You've essentially changed it from soup.
You've changed it. It's not soup anymore. It's
that's
you've elevated the soup by putting mashed potatoes in it.
Okay. Here. I'll elevate it. Okay, here. I'm going to add something to that argument real quick. I'm going to add something to that argument.
Okay.
If you put soup in a bread bowl, you've elevated the soup.
He's not wrong.
You're not wrong. So, soup or not, chicken and dumplings.
Ooh. I don't care what you call it. I love chicken
Right?
and dumplings.
It sounds delicious.
Chicken and dumplings. So I don't care what you call it. I'll forget it. I don't care.
I don't think it's soup. I don't think it's soup because there's a lot of bread. There's a lot of bread in. Yeah, there's a lot of carbs. Okay, you bring up a good point, Joy. You bring up what about chowder?
I love it.
Technically, still a soup.
Chowder. I love
I
chowder.
want that on
Technically, still a soup.
JD, I love a good chowder.
I love a good chowder. Hell yeah! Just for reference, people. I recently visited the city of Boston and Salem for Halloween, which we talked about on the show.
Ooh.
I actually went to 3 different places in Boston and had 3 different types of clam chowder, and one of those places was actually the original Cheers bar in downtown Boston, and I went to the original Cheers bar and had a bowl of clam chowder while I was there. Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
Clam chowder. I don't care what you go.
So Joy asks bisque. What about bisque?
Soup.
So I just quickly Googled the word bisque. A bisque is a French-style creamy
It's
soup.
soup. It's soup.
Soup. It's soup.
It's good. I'm not saying
It's
it's not
soup.
good. It's soup. Yeah.
It's soup. It's pointless. It's soup.
This is the best way to end the show.
Just eat a fucking hamburger. Come on.
I think soup is. I don't think soup can no longer be classified as soup if you have an equal distribution of the liquid base and then, like, say, the dumplings and the chicken. If they're equalized, I don't really think you call it a soup anymore.
No,
But
I
that's
don't
just
think you
me.
can either.
That's just me.
Chili
Chili is not a soup. White chili is not a soup.
Chili is not soup. No, it's not
Just
soup.
saying.
When your bowl is mostly liquid, it is a soup.
Yeah.
If you have to eat it with a spoon, if you cannot eat it with a fork,
I have a
French
better
onion soup.
Okay, that's actually good. That's good.
Ah.
It's good. It's soup. It's
Ah.
soup, but it's good.
that is a good. That is,
But
a
it's
good, still
loaded
soup.
with onion and cheese, and it's
It-
got like a solid
it
piece of
is.
So-
bread in it, like on top.
So what?
See, Matt and I are on the same page. It's just semi-flavored warm water.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
Okay, Tina. Okay, we're going into different territory here.
It's stew.
It's
It
not
literally
soup.
says beef stew. It's
It's
stew.
not soup.
It's not. It's not a soup. I
It's
have
not
a question. I have a question. How in the hell did we end up on this topic at the end of this show?
A meme.
What? What the hell?
How do we get to any topic?
I'm gonna
dude?
drink 2 beers because this is definitely a nut on adrenaline steroids type of moment. I'm just saying.
Dude, we get off topic all the time. You know
Yeah,
this.
this is random.
This
as
one
hell.
just happened to hit at the. This one just happened to hit at the end of the show rather than in the middle of it.
This ranks right up there.
You're right, Bear. We really could. Also, like with you, I had planned before JD came on the show. We had planned on doing an entire episode about fried chicken. I still want to do my
I
fried
don't know
chicken
how you're going to do
episode.
an episode about fried chicken, but okay. I'm on board. I want to be there for that.
All right. Well, there's a problem, Joy. I don't think I can agree with you on this one. Isn't coffee just soup? No, because it's a drink.
It's
It's a
filtered
drink.
beans. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, people don't hate me. Don't hate me. But tea to me is just angry water.
That's fair, Steve. Steve, that's very fair. It is very
Because
fair.
Steve's
Why they
Yeah,
have
that's
a
true.
mascot for it.
I really
Yeah, exactly.
am.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
If we
All right. Okay, that's enough. So Andor coming up on
I do
April
have
22nd. We're really looking
I
forward
do
to it.
have to go to that with like an episode about food. I do have several like Star Wars and Harry Potter cookbooks that I could go through.
I'm not the only one that scrolls.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I have those cookbooks.
I do
available.
too.
Ha-ha.
I do too.
Cooking with
Our favorite
cooking.
fictional
Hey,
food.
here it is. Cooking with sci-fi. Cooking with sci-fi episode.
Don't you remember we had talked about doing patron exclusive episodes where it was just me videotaping myself cooking
Mhm.
something? Because I don't cook, by the way.
I
If you
did
didn't catch
not
that
know
reference,
that. I can't stand cooking.
I
I
do
bake.
not.
I
don't do that either. I'm
love
not,
to. And I
I'm
love
not
to
allowed
cook.
in the
I
kitchen.
love to cook. Some of my best times
You
I
can
ever had
cook,
with
I'll
my
bake.
daughter. Some of the best times I had with my daughter was when she came over to the house and we were visiting and we were cooking
Yeah.
different dishes together. It was so
I
much
mean,
fun.
there are a few things that I can make, and I'm getting better at it as this year has progressed. Exactly, Tina.
Chicken broth, filtered chicken.
It's-
Yeah,
Filtered
that's-
chicken
it's literally called
But she's
broth.
talking about
It's not a
filtered
soup.
beans, coffee.
It's
broth. It's
it's
just water.
it's-
It's flavored
called
She's
water.
not soup.
comparing coffee to broth. You said coffee is filtered beans. She's saying chicken broth is filtered chicken.
It's different. It's different.
I don't
It's
know.
completely different. Okay.
Anyway,
Okay, we're done. We're done. Okay.
This would be another hour of this show if we actually wanted to. That's the crazy part of it.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So Andor coming up. All right. Frosty, thanks for coming on
Thank
the
you,
show. and hanging out with
Having
us.
me.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
My
Thank
face
you.
hurts from laughing with you guys.
You got to come on the show again sometime.
I am so looking forward to meeting up with you in person in Japan.
Yes!
Please,
It's gonna be awesome.
please,
I'm so jealous.
please have safe travels, both of you. You guys be
You
careful,
too.
and I will see you in Japan.
Yes.
Thanks everybody that was in the chat, hanging out with us. And Soup is the Kylo Ren of foods. I'm not the one that dislikes Kylo Ren. Soup is the Han Solo. No, I'm kidding.
There's so many jokes. So many jokes.
So many. Okay. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with this chat room, and thanks for our patrons helping us keep the lights on. But next week, I think we're going to be talking about episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. JD won't be here. I will have somebody on with me. Tina.
Tina, that was my favorite comment.
Oh boy.
I love and adore our chat. You guys are awesome.
This is why I love our chat. The Soup Talk has gone on for like 2 minutes. We're talking more about soup than we need Andor.
We need a food shenanigans episode. 100%. 100%.
Dude, we got to do the fried chicken episode because I have thoughts on fried chicken.
Okay.
Tina can attest to this. Tina can back me up. I have some serious thoughts about fried chicken. Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Anyway, so we'll see you next week. Well, I won't see you next week, and I won't see you next week, but I'll see. Maybe the chat room will show up for next week. We're going to talk about Revenge of the Sith, but thanks for coming in, and we will see you.